How do you feel about the government or the police having access to your online communications during the past 2 years? Maybe you're somebody who thinks nothing to hide, nothing to fear. Or perhaps you share the concerns of privacy advocates and civil libertarians who believe new national security laws proposed by the federal government erode fundamental freedoms. The next tranche of security reforms will require telcos to retain customers' communication records, known as metadata, for 2 years. But metadata records can already be accessed by dozens of organisations, from local councils to energy regulators to the RSPCA. David Lewis has been investigating who has our digital fingerprints right now.
Thanks to rapidly evolving technology, the world is more connected than ever before. But every interaction we have using devices like smartphones is logged by telecommunications companies. This creates a digital trail of information called metadata.
Metadata is a bit like this. It's the equivalent of having a government agent following a person around and writing down every address they've been to.
Metadata includes the time and length of phone calls, the location of the person making and receiving the call, the internet protocol or IP address attached to a mobile phone or computer, the email address of both the sender and recipient of an email, and the start and finish time of internet sessions.
It's the digital shadow of your entire life. If you've got access to this material, you can map someone's movements around the landscape, their entire social network, really important elements of their financial life, health. It's really everything. Just nearly everything we do these days leaves some kind of digital trace.
But it's not just spies and senior police who can access our metadata.
There are literally hundreds of thousands of metadata searches each year by organisations as diverse and as obscure as the Victorian Taxi Directorate. You've got the RSPCA, you've got local councils.
Since 2011, more than 50 organisations, including Australia Post, Clean Energy Regulator and Medicare, have obtained metadata without a warrant. In Bankstown in Sydney's west, metadata is being used not to protect national security, but to prosecute people for illegally dumping rubbish.
Mate, I've seen people driving up this road actually, and they just dump stuff outside the window all the time.
So we're really worried that people would come and dump asbestos, for example. So that's what we're trying to make sure that we catch these people and kick them out.
Mayor Carl Asfor makes no apologies for using people's metadata. His council has made at least 9 requests, all relating to illegal dumping. In one case last year, they caught a truck driver who dumped tons of construction waste near pristine bushland.
I don't believe that you are invading privacy when you are helping prosecute illegal dumpers in our city. The cost of illegal dumping in our city is in the hundreds of thousands, and that's hundreds of thousands annually. It's something that our community won't cop, and it's something that we will continue to prosecute by using that information.
In the northern suburbs of Perth, investigators from the Department of Commerce are using metadata to track down people involved in illegal car dealing. Their targets included one serial offender.
We basically tracked the advertisements that were in a local newspaper over a period of about a year and saw that there was a continuing mobile number in use. Often you'll just have one small piece of information. It's about trying to find out who is behind that piece of information.
The department was able to match the mobile number in the classifieds to a woman. She pleaded guilty last month and was fined more than $11,000.
I don't believe there would be any way we could get a prosecution up along these lines without metadata.
Metadata is not only being used to prosecute illegal behaviour, but immoral behaviour too. Earlier this year, health regulators were trying to force a confession from a doctor accused of having a sexual relationship with a patient's spouse. The doctor initially denied the allegations until their call records were produced. But critics are concerned about the growing use of metadata accessed without a warrant.
It's a bit like locking down a CBD and having helicopters flying overhead if someone's suspected of shoplifting. That's the equivalent. It is complete overkill, and let's concentrate on catching the bad guys, the terrorists, the organised crime figures, and put our resources into that.
Our concern is that this system is ballooning outside crime prevention, crime detection and national security issues. That should be the core of any data retention proposal.
The telcos are lobbying hard against the federal government's proposal to force them to store more metadata for at least 2 years, saying it would be too expensive and an invasion of privacy.
The more people that have access, the more people that can be involved with this data set, the greater the cost to industry, and we think the government should put some significant limitations on the sort of data that's collected and the sort of people who can access it.
My question's to the Attorney-General. Is it seriously government policy to introduce a mandatory data retention regime covering...
A federal Senate inquiry into the Telecommunications Act is underway. Green Senator Scott Ludlam is the chair and is calling for tighter restrictions on who can access metadata and how.
If you've got a legitimate reason and you've gone to a judge so that there's those checks and balances there, I don't have a problem with it, to be quite honest. But what we have at the moment are dozens of agencies, hundreds potentially, accessing material without a warrant for a huge variety of different issues. And the law really hasn't kept pace with technology.